Hi everyone, I'm YaYa, and I want to welcome you back to the Beginner's Playlist, the best easy beginner watercolor tutorials out there. Today we're going to be painting birds in watercolor. Don't worry, you don't need to know the difference between a sparrow and a stork. We'll keep it easy. First, some simple playful birds, and then we'll try a more realistic version. Basically, cartoon bird first, fancy birds next. So grab that paintbrush. So, two styles, same subject today. Fun, simple birds and more realistic feathered friends. You can mix them too. Make a bird that's half realistic and half cartoon if you want. And what I always tell you is the most important thing is to enjoy the process. Remember, watercolor should be more like bird watching, relaxing, surprising, and a little unpredictable. So today we're going to start with super easy to begin with, and this is one of your videos, and trust me, it was really easy. And as you can see, I'll always tell you, I'm still working on water control issues. We want them to blend, but we don't necessarily want to see the line up there from the bloom. So I still have I still struggle with that sometimes. So this is your super simple bird, very easy, fun tutorial. She actually has, I think, ooh, maybe 6 of them on the branch, and I just chose to do 2. But it's a cute painting. So next up is a little bit more bright and as well as abstract. So as you can see, one of my birds is a little bit hunchback, but that's okay. It's kind of a fun painting. It was good practice, and I didn't have any water control issues on this one. Next up is this bluebird that she did, and she does it. The picture contains, I believe, 2 birds, and then she's got floral all the way around the outside. So it's a regular picture, and it takes, I think, close to 30 minutes. But I included it because it was a good lesson on the blending of the colors on the bird, and I think he turned out okay. He's kind of fun. So he's one of the more realistic. So this is one of your other videos today. She calls it a robin. I'm not sure it's a robin because robins tend to have more orange and red on them than this one does. But she's good at talking you through how to blend some of the colors, and it's some wet on wet and some wet on dry. So this, again, fun to do it. It will take a little bit of time though, because sometimes she lets stuff dry before you work on it. So again, fun, but the techniques in all this are leading up to our last bird here. And this is my old world sparrow. And unfortunately, I don't have a video for it. And if you remember from the animals video, for whatever reason, I tend to do better with a real picture painting animals than I do, as you can tell, with some of the videos. So I'm going to talk you through in more detail how I did it this time. Last time I didn't talk you all the way through it. But if you want to find a picture of a bird, I tend to use Bing.com. And here's my original picture. So here we can show you original picture and the final output. The reason I like Bing is that when you pull up images, one of the filters on it lets you select that it's free to use to edit and use commercially. It's the most liberal license, and I like that because I know I'm not infringing on anybody's copyright if I make a picture and use it to show you. So I picked this old world sparrow from them and I saved it to my PC. So that's what you're gonna do is get yourself a picture and save it to your PC. The next thing I did was I used, I'll put it down here. I like to use Copilot, which is Microsoft's AI, to get these drawings. If you remember, I talked about it before. I used it to make the octopus and the Zentangle. I used it to make the mommy and the baby bears. So I find it handy. So I use the app, but you can also go to the internet and Google Copilot, and you will come across the AI. And what I did was I had saved the picture of the sparrow, and there's a plus button on Copilot. And so I added this picture to Copilot. And then once it uploaded, I asked it, could you draw me a simple line drawing of this picture that I can use as an outline for watercolor painting? And first try, this is what I got. If you notice, it's pretty close. It doesn't show differentiated colors because that's very simple. But this is then what I used. And I used this on my light pad to trace to come up with this. So if you notice, it's the same shape, but I tried to do the coloring from the color picture. So 3-step process. Get yourself a picture that's free to share and edit, and upload it into Copilot and ask for a simple line drawing, and then trace it on your light pad, which is what I did here. So if you watch the videos that are on the video list today, I use the same techniques. Although I did this one before I watched all those videos, I've seen enough of them that you always know you want to start with a light color. So basically the whole bird got this kind of super light gray wash everywhere to begin with. And then we started laying in a little bit darker colors and some of the other things. Where I struggled on this one was the, if you'll notice on here, he has white on his feathers. And I could not make that work. So what I did is I came back in afterwards and used trusty gouache, the white gouache, to put some tips on his feathers. He's not perfect by any means, and he was my first try at doing a realistic bird, and I'm happy with him. He turned out pretty good. He's not an A, but he's absolutely a B, and I'm happy with that. Like I said, first try. So I would challenge you, find yourself, or if you have a picture of your own of a bird that you like, but to give it a try, to go to bing.com, find your picture, save the picture, upload it to Copilot, ask for a simple line drawing, then use your light pad or however you trace and get that outline on there and start painting. So I know today's one a little bit longer, but I want to explain this process more because I use it quite a lot. I've told you before, I can draw, but I'm not a great drawer. I'm good at strange things like flowers, believe it or not, but not so much realistic shapes. And so I find this very handy. So let's go and look through your videos today. I gave you quite a few. I did not show you all of them, but I did show you the very easy watercolor. That was the very first one I showed you. The 30-minute one is how to do that bird, but she has other birds and backgrounds on there. I did the 2 of the 3 cute birds before, but I couldn't find it, so I apologize for that. But the reason I put them in there is she does a lot of wet on wet and loose soft edges on it, and it looks very easy, but when you actually sit down to tackle it and try to recreate what she's got, it is a little bit of a challenge. So I put it down further on the list here. So these are ranked from simplest to the hardest. And the one I put the robin that we talked about that I showed you first on the bottom. So again, I had fun doing them all. I probably had the most fun doing the realistic one that I did from the picture. But you do whatever works for you. If you like the videos better, then by all means do the videos. And if you want to explore and be a little brave like me, then go ahead and try getting a picture and a simple drawing of it, and then painting it. If you enjoyed painting birds with me today, don't forget there are lots more watercolor ideas waiting for you. Just keep painting, experimenting, and most of all, have fun with your feathered creations. As always, let's close with YaYa's Irish blessing. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May your hearts be light, your colors bright, and may joy and peace fill you in the beauty that you create. Until next time, bye.